This is a Nissan Silvia K's Type S14 from 1994, and this is one of the latest cars to actually receive an engine swap in Gran Turismo 7. Now today, I'm here to tell you this vehicle, even in its standard form, is fun. And I'm actually quite excited for the engine swap for this vehicle. And I think as we see, it already gets an engine swap, already has an engine swap in the game, but with update 1.60, well, it gets another one, and engine swap it gets is extremely spicy. But I thought, you know what, before we jump straight into the engine swap, let me get a feeling for the vehicle standard. And right now, with its standard power plant, it produces over 200 brake horsepower, which is a massive step up from the Silvia that we just reviewed yesterday. Now, this Nissan, it almost feels easier to control, it's easier to handle, honestly. It's just so smooth. And then when you jump into the interior cam, the sound, if I could just get past the traffic, yeah. Come on, move, move. There we go. But too close there, but anyway. The vehicle's braking is so easy. The steering input is extremely fast. And even with the vehicle having only 200 horsepower, you can actually find yourself spinning out, which is something I just find so fun, amusing. That's the thing with the Nissan, it has such a little bit of weight. I think it's just over 1,200 kgs. So that paired with the 200 horsepower that the car comes with, it's actually a fun combination. It's nothing that I'm like, oh my word, it's so slow, it's serious, boring. It's actually fun. So when I saw with update 1.60 you can actually get an engine swap, I got a bit concerned when I actually saw what engine swap we can put into this vehicle. And I'm going to explain why. Because we see the engine swap we can now put into this Nissan is actually from the R35 GTR Nismo edition. So that is a very powerful engine, and as we saw with yesterday's video, old cars and very powerful engines don't really mix in Gran Turismo 7. So fingers crossed this will actually be a decent engine swap, because the other alternative is an LT5 engine from a Corvette C7. So I think the GTR power plant should do a bit better, but anyway, let's find out. So there's only one way to do that, and that's by spending 193,500 credits, which honestly isn't too bad considering the fact of you are getting 591 brake horsepower straight out of the box. So what we're gonna do, swap in this engine and then take it on over to the tuning shop. So now when it comes to parts that we can actually upgrade to this engine, it's a lot. Like when I say a lot, and our biggest one has to be the ultra high RPM turbocharger, because we see by just swapping this in, the power shoots up to 737 brake horsepower. So yeah, this is gonna be a well over 1,000 horsepower engine, and that's kind of the problem. Because we saw yesterday with the Nissan Silvia S13, well, that vehicle couldn't even really handle 800 horsepower, because the vehicle was just so... The minute you go in the power, the rear wheels lit up, the vehicle was a bit unpredictable, and it just caused a lot of problems. So it wasn't the easiest of engine swaps to drive, but hey, it was still a very powerful engine swap. I'm still yet to try and set a proper time with that vehicle, because I just could not manage to actually get a hold of it. And we see just like that, we are over 1,000 brake horsepower with this engine swap. And the crazy thing is, we're not done, because we can still slap in a bore up, which will then take us 1,042 brake horsepower. Then we can still slap on weight reduction or pull some weight out of the vehicle. So now we see we are going from 1,200 all the way down to 1,049 kg. So just above that 1,000 kg mark, but we have almost a 1-to-1 power to weight ratio, which is just absolutely insane. So this should be, I hope, not sketchy, but I feel like it's gonna be a bit difficult to actually handle this much power in this Nissan Silvia. But anyway, there's only one way to find out. But before we actually do that, we need to see what customization we have for it. So we see we actually have two options for a front bumper, 2 options for a side skirt, 2 options for a rear diffuser, and we have 4 options for a rear wing, which includes our custom wing set. Racing items, your typical parts. We see we do have front grille customization, so we do have a bit more spice to add to it. So yeah, so this is now my fully kitted out Nissan S14 Silvia, and it is it looks good in my opinion. Shout out to whoever made this livery. But when I tell you it does sound, just listen to it, because of the anti-lag system, foot on the brake, and it's still just interior cam. It's gonna be so fast. You know what? Let me be prepared. I'm scared. Alright, let's ease into it. That's almost 300. Okay, I'm not actually really pushing the car to its limit right now. I'm just really getting a feel for it, and even the gear changes, oh my word. Ooh. I'm dead. I'm alive, I'm dead. Just listen to the gear down. Oh, the brakes are actually good. The brakes are stopping. That is amazing. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, the reason I have skill issues, I haven't been using a wheel for long, but I thought, you know what, I need to start using it and try it out. Nah, where's the controller? Let's see now. This is gonna be a real test now, right? I need to learn to do this on wheel. Hey, boy. Okay, we're gonna do a proper flying lap now to see. This engine is honestly like a perfect fit for this vehicle. The wheel spin is just a perfect amount to get you excited. It's not overly wheel spinning. I say that as it breaks traction. But that downshifts, oh. But even the cornering ability, the vehicle is able to stay planted, keep it flat for most of the time. You saw the front wheels in the air there. And look at that. I braked extremely late and still made it out the other end. I need to learn to do that on wheel, yo. But yo, this is a fun vehicle. This may be my new go-to drift car, I won't even lie to you. But what we're gonna do, next lap, we're gonna try and stay away from drifting and sliding about. We're gonna try and set a clean, proper lap time and see how far we get. But right now, we just ran a 1 minute 35 and we're sliding all over the place. So the turning is so quick. But as long as you can actually control the wheel spin, the vehicle is quite rapid. Now we see it actually comes in at over 800 performance points, so you'd expect it to be quite fast. But once you actually get the wheel spin under control, like you can manually do that, or if you play around with the differential, you can really kill how fast the wheels spin up, and that will really make all the difference. What we see now, we just ran a 1 minute 32 second lap. I'm sure I can bring it down to 1 minute 31. But the Nissan Silvia with the R35 GTR engine swap in it is honestly, it's amazing. The power delivery, the lightweight body that the Silvia has, as well as just the overall handling experience. The downforce could be better, but honestly, it's not bad. I'm enjoying my time with it, because you can take it sideways, you can have the vehicle slide about, but you can still catch it, well, if you have the skill to. Across my 5 laps, if I made them perfect, lined up my best times, would have been a 1 minute 31.8. This vehicle is very fast, it's very capable, and I'm sure you will be able to make a much better setup for this vehicle than myself, because I'm not really a best when it comes to setting up a car. I just throw in a setup that I think works, well, I hope works, and then take it from there. If it's really bad, I'll go in, make some adjustments, but if it's performing, I'm gonna leave it. And that is what happened now with this Nissan, because this vehicle was performing extremely well. I had a massive smile on my face, whether I was trying to do actual proper laps, or if I was just trying to, how do I say, or if I was just trying to drive it, just trying to enjoy it, slide about. I had a massive smile on my face. So now we're going around the WTC 700 around Le Mans. This is a race against Group 4 vehicles. Now, I'm a bit skeptic about it, because with this V6 engine, I don't know how fuel consumption is going to be. But hey, there's only one way to find out. So now what we gotta do, we gotta detune the vehicle. So first things first, we're going to drop this down. We see now at 750, put a ballast, Shire, 200. Negative 50. Have that there. Now look, we'll rate down to 719. Now we'll drop the front downforce just a bit. Nothing too major, because I think we actually might need to pull more power out of it. Down to 710. I still want a bit of downforce in the front, so what we're gonna do now, drop the power curve down to, we'll see 600 and see how much power we have. Too much. Literally too much power left on the table. He will take that. So we're now left with 642 brake horsepower, 1249 kgs, and the front and rear weight balance is devious now with the way we actually put all the way to the front end. But we're still stuck with the ultra high RPM turbocharger, anti-lag, and every other part under the sun. So let us see now how good this vehicle actually is. Let's see if it can get us a win, or what the situation is. So it may take a bit of work, but anyway, there's only one way to find out. Drive it. So step on over, fuel map level 6. You see laps remaining is low. We need that to aim about 3 laps, and then we should be good to go. So at this power level, the vehicle doesn't spin up as fast, which is a massive bonus. So when it comes to cornering, we are able to just take the vehicle a bit more aggressively through the corners. We can push it through the corners a lot more, but I can really feel that the front downforce has decreased. Anyway, we are at 94% fuel as we hit the straights away. So let's see what speed we can actually hit now. As I said, this vehicle really feels like it needs a 6. It feels like it needs more. But obviously you can just extend your gears to actually counter that. But we see we are doing almost 300. There we go, 300 kilometers per hour. Slam on the brakes and just downshift. The vehicle's pulling. It has more than enough straight line speed to actually be efficient, to have enough power to actually run with some of the faster cars. And as you can see, we are flying past other competition right now. So hold on the brakes, turn in, brake again, on the power, shift up way too early there. Look at that, look at that. On the first lap, we're already in first place, 79% of fuel remaining. So we see I just ran my first initial lap of a 4 minute 12-second lap. We have 68% of fuel remaining. So with fuel saving tactics, we will be able to get 3 laps of fuel out of it, meaning it will run on par with the Group 4 vehicles. However, we are a lot faster than them when it comes to cornering as well as straight line speed. So with that being said, this is a guaranteed vehicle to use, and you will see a win with this event, which means you can use this vehicle for money grinding. So with that being said, I want to know your thoughts and opinions of this engine swap in the comment section down below, because for me it has great performance, it sounds amazing, the vehicle can handle the power, which is absolutely perfect, and well, you can make some money with it. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.